My name is Sean Henry. I'm the Environmental Planning Manager here at Northern Water, and for the Chimney Hollow Reservoir project, I'm responsible for owners' oversight of environmental compliance and environmental stewardship. Environmental compliance and management at Chimney Hollow Reservoir site is a heavy lift, and it involves a good team effort from our contractor Barnard, our environmental consultant Kleinfelder, and ourselves, Northern Water. And basically we collaborate and communicate closely on all of our environmental commitments.
I'm Nan Elzinga. I am the Environmental Compliance Manager for the project, and I work for Kleinfelder.
Planning process for the Chimney Hollow Reservoir was a very, very long process, taking over 20 years to get through. Now the biggest part of that process is our compliance with the National Environmental Policy Act. Now the NEPA process requires evaluation of many alternatives to find out which, if any, of the alternatives is the least environmentally impactful and which makes the most sense financially as well. Due to the selection of Chimney Hollow Valley as our preferred alternative, we really minimized the number of environmental commitments and environmental mitigation measures that we needed to implement on the East Slope and in Chimney Hollow Valley. So in the Chimney Hollow Valley, we have 6 primary environmental compliance elements: noise monitoring and mitigation, air quality, raptor and migratory bird management and protection, erosion, sediment control and stormwater management, paleontological and archaeological monitoring and recovery, wetland mitigation, and stream restoration.
Noise is an important concept and resource, especially for the neighbors for the project, both noise protection for wildlife and for the public. So there's constant noise monitoring going on site, and there are certain procedures and activities that are higher noise activities that there are mitigation in place to protect those noise levels. Air quality is very important on site. There are 6 permits that have been obtained through the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment for different activities going on site, all with the goal to protect the air quality in the area of the project.
Our largest concern on site really is dust management overall. We have a lot of acreage, a lot of disturbed earth, and a very windy site in an arid environment. So there is quite a bit of dust that can be kicked up here. And in an effort to really minimize that, we focus on water truck use as much as possible. The Chimney Hollow Reservoir project, we take minimization of impacts to wildlife very seriously as well. We also have a series of permit commitments that require us to manage carefully around special status wildlife. We have a robust program to manage our stormwater impacts, manage erosion from disturbances caused by project construction. It's a really large-scale effort given the size of the project, and thankfully the geography has blessed us with a location where the entire valley all funnels out to one exit point. So we're able to basically install a state-of-the-art water treatment facility that all of our stormwater, all of the water that goes through the quarry, all the water that comes off our access roads, everything ends up in one cofferdam and then is pumped into a water treatment facility. And that water treatment facility ensures that every bit of water that leaves the Chimney Hollow site is clean and compliant. Now, during the planning process for the Chimney Hollow Reservoir, we spent a great deal of time conducting cultural resources surveys, inventories, reaching out to Native American tribes that had ancestry in the area, talking to the State Historic Preservation Office, and being sure that we had a good plan to successfully collect, repatriate if necessary, curate if necessary, any paleontological, which is fossils and things that used to be alive and their remnants, or archaeological, which is cultural elements, basically to make sure that anything we encounter during project activities is returned to the right place, studied and respected. Construction of the Chimney Hollow Reservoir project impacts the intermittent Chimney Hollow Creek, which is a water of the United States. Also, it impacts several adjacent wetlands to Chimney Hollow Creek. Those wetlands and that stream will be underwater from the new reservoir. And due to those permanent impacts, we've worked with the Army Corps of Engineers to locate 3 different sites that are in the area in northern Colorado that needed some restoration, needed some care. These are 3 sites that were destroyed by the 2013 floods, and we went in, recontoured the streams, put them back in more of a natural state, and then went in over a course of 5 years and reinstalled riparian vegetation, wetland vegetation, and monitored the sites for success. Due to the large soil disturbance of the Chimney Hollow Reservoir project, there's a great need for site restoration post-construction. In order to complete successful restoration post-construction, we have a large topsoil salvage effort that involves collecting and salvaging all of the topsoil in the disturbed spaces in which we work here. All that topsoil is stored on site and managed on a year-to-year basis. Weeds are controlled, and it is maintained for post-construction. Now, once construction disturbances are done in a given area, we'll go back with the topsoil and place that topsoil down, make sure that it's ripped, and then we'll work with Larimer County to reseed and create native plant communities in these areas that were disturbed by project activities. This is something that we take very seriously because we want to make sure that we minimize noxious weeds and that we enhance the property for future generations with native species from the region.
My name is Megan Flanagan, and I work for Larimer County Natural Resources Department as the Land Conservation Planning and Resource Division Manager. A key reason we purchased Chimney Hollow Open Space was for its natural resource values. And when we go through our planning process next year in 2024, we'll be looking at how we can be sure to continue to conserve the key natural resource values of the property. One of the things that Northern Water is doing right now as part of their reservoir construction is monitoring raptor nests and some of the wildlife on site. And that'll be something that will be important for us to learn as we go into managing the property and looking at where we would put recreation facilities to avoid impacts to nesting raptors, how we'll manage recreation temporally to ensure that as well.
We really have enjoyed collaborating with Larimer County on the management planning process, on habitat enhancements, on the long-term vision for the Chimney Hollow Reservoir and the associated open space.
We've also been working closely with Northern Water on looking at how we can create some efficiencies with location of facilities Northern Water is building relative to the reservoir needs, and how those facilities can long-term be repurposed and used for our public access points. And so as part of that, we've also looked closely at restoration work, minimizing impacts or disturbance above the high water line of the reservoir, so that once the property becomes open to the public and is managed as a county open space, that we'll have minimum restoration work at that time, and it'll be a beautiful, healthy, functioning ecosystem.
We are working in this pristine setting with several resources, cultural resources, biological resources, air, water resources, everything.